The Blind Nights.
As we try this again, right, Jesse?
Right, because I always seem to talk right when the damn intro starts.
And this is no joke, everybody. Every single time. It's
Yep.
like, Jesse, you ready? Yep. So I type in the command to bring the recording body in, and as it starts playing, Jesse's like, "Oh, such and such, such and such." It's awesome, but that's the kind of friendship that we have.
Yeah.
So I started telling Jesse, "Yeah, I brought it in," so he'll start talking. And then when he shuts up, I hit enter and actually bring it in. But
That
he
might be
got
a
me
good way to
today.
do it. That might be a good way to do it.
But
Just
he got
just
me today.
just tell me like, yeah, I muted it so you won't hear it say now recording.
Exactly. Uh, so let's go over the topics for today's podcast. We will be advertising here that everybody needs to check out Accessible Gaming Quarterly, brought to you by Accessible Games. Jacob Wood, great guy, great quarterly magazine that I know Jim and I have both written for. Learned a lot through reading there. It's a PDF digital magazine, I guess what you call it, digital
Yep.
design. And it's made with layers. The PDF is really accessible on both phone and computer. Although the printed version is not very accessible to blind people, but then
Yeah,
again,
no, it wouldn't be.
um, want to also remind everybody about the Knights of the Braille Patreon, whatever you want to call it.
Phew, excuse me.
Yeah, see, there goes Jesse again. But like in the show notes, it will say, even $1 helps. We're not, requiring anybody to do it. We're not making money off of it. It's just to, help pay for like server boost and other, like music that we all hear and things like that. Be sure to check out the Knights of the Braille Discord for games. Uh, a
And
buddy
great
of mine.
discussion.
Oh yeah, tons of discussion once you get out there, right, Jesse?
Exactly. I've
Uh,
posted quite a few messages now.
yeah, I think you're up to
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, I was gonna
So,
say still in the single digits, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
um, a buddy of mine who is going to be in the Mothership RPG come this Saturday, Hijo Del Padre, has started a worldwide wrestling play-by-post server. So for more information on that, please contact me, and I will get you in touch with Dez. Going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to help him with it. He's going to be running it, but I will help him out where I can. And I believe Jesse, you have joined that
I have.
server.
How I mean, I'll be fine with it, but just out of curiosity, how hard is the character creation?
Not really hard at all.
Okay.
It's not as simple as Mothership,
Right. Or
but
skeletons, adventure
yeah,
skeletons.
nothing is as simple as Adventure
You know what's so
Skeletons.
funny about that though? It was so simple, but that is the most fun I've had in a while. Not that like everything isn't fun, but I had a blast with that
Uh,
last week.
I wish it would have recorded so we could
I
have it up there.
know. We have to do
But
another one just so it records.
exactly, exactly.
But I will
But
definitely have a new voice.
yeah, because that one was kind of rough for you.
Oh my
Let's
god.
see. Be sure to check out Quest of the Braille, which we are focusing on Mothership right now, the science fiction horror based RPG. The next live stream will be this upcoming Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. You
Can't
can
wait.
find it at www.twitch.tv/Braille Nights. That is what we're going to be going over here on the episode. So if you don't want to listen to the rest of it, then by all means, go find somewhere else to listen. But
But who wouldn't want to listen to my book recommendation or Jim Bob?
I can probably think of quite a few people who would not want to listen to either one of us. But you know, we
They're
don't
not
count
listening
them
as it is. So
exactly.
can you
But
imagine if we did get paid for this though? Would that be I mean, not that I want to get paid, but just think of a dream job that would be.
we need to
You and
talk
I
to Jim
you and I
about that.
get to bullshit and get paid for it.
Yeah, it would not be that bad. You know, we could actually start doing a book recommendation since we both love to read podcasts, you know, put it up on like say my
Or like
YouTube.
or a book club even.
Uh yeah, that might be something that the community would be interested in.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Mothership here.
All
You
right.
know,
I
uh
cannot hear the word mothership without Dusty Rhodes' voice, though, just so you know.
it's a Mothership, baby. But I had a lot of fun running it. It's my first percentile system that I've run.
I actually really like that.
It's really simple, and I was talking with Jim a bit earlier because he's run them and played them for a while, and it's amazing how you may have 5-10 pages of rules trying to explain something. And Jim wrote me in a private message and said, if you do this, then you can do this and can do this. It's up to you. And it was like maybe 30 words
Wow.
max. And
What I like is there's no it doesn't have any modifiers, or you just I feel like it's more what is the word? Not intuitive, streamlined.
yeah, more laid back,
Yeah.
easy flow. But you know,
And it's still very stress inducing though, because you have to get like that high, you want it so much higher than that number. Maybe it's just that specific game, but you're like, oh god, oh god, oh god, is the ooze going to kill me?
right. Yeah, and I had told Jim, I was like, I think you just cut out like 5 or 10 pages of the rule book by writing it like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And what he said made sense, and I just hope it sticks and clicks in my.
It
It's
is,
clicked. I just hope it sticks.
as a player of the game, I loved playing it, but it is so nice having Jim there because he'll like you too, but him, I'm just saying him in general, because he will give you a role like, and if you get something wrong, he's not like, no, it's this. He always comes across as he wants to help and teach someone. Like he's never short with anybody.
Right. And like I've told him, I really, really do appreciate that
Hmm.
because I mean, I don't like to be wrong. I usually am,
You
but
told me when we first met you weren't.
so now which way is it? Am I wrong or am I not? See, I have messed your head up, which was my intention all along.
But yeah, by saying that, I don't. I mean, you're never short. You're willing to help too. But it's just it's nice to have like an extra person in there.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
for me on the Tuesday game, it's you that can be my fail safe with the rules and stuff like that.
yeah, and in the end, it's however you want to run it.
Yeah,
Which
right.
like Temple had said that never let the rules get in the way of having fun.
I
And
hate him, by the way.
yeah, I told
I,
him,
I'm
and
gonna be opposite like he was. I hate him. Fuck you, Temple.
but he knows how you are. But all
I
in
can't even
all,
be serious. I do not. I can't even do it. I can't.
how did you like the game, the setting?
I had so much fun. I don't know, like I've been close with all my parties, like all everybody, you build a camaraderie with your characters, but I've never been in one where it was instant. Like
Yeah,
instant with all of us. It was insane to me.
yeah,
Like I don't want
and
anybody to die. None of them.
not yet, not yet.
Right, but I
Um,
mean like I care about every single character. Like there's no part where I'm like, "Oh, I'm just going to, excuse me, zone out here because this person I'm not into this character. I'm into every character.
right.
Maybe it's the horror setting, like the suspenseful setting of it, but I am so on board and so ready for next week. Like it's a blast too. Like I love D&D, but it's a blast to play something different.
It is, and that's what I've you know come to the point is like if I want to play something different, then I'm going to.
And it like recharges you.
Yeah, it does. And coming from D&D, it's you're so used to having to beat like get higher than the number. With Mothership, you're trying to roll underneath
You're
the
right.
number.
Yeah.
and that takes a little bit of getting used to. But I thought all in all, the overall gameplay was really, really fun.
Yep.
There was a lot of laughs. I think there were some stressful situations in there as well, and it could be a lot more than what there was, But all in all, I think it was a ton of fun. Thank you everybody who tuned in and listened. It is up on the YouTube channel as well as the podcast feed for Knights of the Braille, so be sure to check that out. And like Jesse said, the party all in all was just gelled like quickly.
Never seen that before, to be honest. Have you?
Now my first D&D group, we gelled really quickly, but most of us knew each other,
Yeah.
outside of that. So,
Right.
I
mean, coming from a part where like no one knew anybody, I just think it was other than, you and Jim. I think it
right.
was
I would say probably not. Now the unknowns, y'all kind of gelled
yeah.
fairly
Yeah.
quickly, but
And I think part of that with the unknowns was the second iteration of the unknowns,
yeah.
was that the three of us got closer because of everything that happened, so we were already on board with gelling with each other.
And that's part of it. Usually it takes like, I would say, a session or two
A session or two, but it was like instant. I know I keep
well,
saying that, but it was.
and a lot of it too, I think, is y'all have about 6 sessions, so you
Yeah.
either get longer.
But it wasn't forced though either. It all happened organically.
Oh no, not at all. I mean,
But I have a question though.
uh-huh.
What did you think about the snarkiness of Sam?
The Snarkbot 3000. I think everybody loved it.
I couldn't do like I don't want him to have emotion, so I figured snark is the best way to get around that.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
it just kind of happened. Like I didn't even have that planned. It just kind of worked. Like pointing out about Dr. Funtime, the Dr. Funtime gives us all common sense shit. Like, where's your medical degree? Like,
nobody ever asked what Dr. Funtime was a doctor of, though.
that's true, but I feel like
What?
Sam would just take it as a medical, like he would think
Yeah,
you know what,
doctor.
like rudimentary medical.
Oh, so he's not the doctor of thugonomics. Okay. But I really liked it. The party really fit together well, and one thing that I really liked was Isaac, I think was Jim's character's name.
Yes. How
Smoking
he's
the
like,
cigarette and
and
then
he's like,
pulled the
fuck this
helmet
shit.
down. Yeah.
The other thing you were talking about, the difference between this and D&D, I like that you don't have the modifiers, you don't have to beat a number. Like I feel like having the number to have to be lower adds to the suspense and like the horror element of it.
Right. If your number is 33 to beat, then you have a 33% chance of
Right.
victory.
Yes. Yep.
And I like that. But let's move on from Mothership to to Adventure Skeletons, which is a single page RPG, but once it's converted, it's actually like 2 or 3 pages. That of course did not record. What did you think about that particular game? I know it was a lot of fun for me to run because it's too simple.
Before Saturday, that's the most fun I've had in a while. Like that
Yeah.
was so goofy, and I just love like something simple as I love the fact that when you're walking to town, it's like I'm hurrying, but I'm still walking. Like just
Yeah.
you have to lean into it and just have fun with it. It was so much fun.
Like
We
I
went
said,
to a
I
brothel. We
talked about bones, got peed
you
on.
had me kill Temple, but
No,
then I brought it back.
you didn't have to kill Temple the skeleton or the cultist Temple, but
But
you
didn't he
did.
have to die to be defeated?
Not necessarily could have knocked him out, but no, you
But
chose to
I brought
go.
him back to life though at the end.
Yeah,
With
you made him a zombie. Yeah.
So he can hang out with us.
I mean, you went all in. You went like Dante in the Alien RPG, where
I did.
And Dante, go take care of them people. Okay. What do? I snap the neck.
Oh my god, it was
Leave
so
no
much
one
fun
behind.
though. It was so much fun.
It was really, and the best way I can think how to describe my point of view for Adventure Skeletons was it was lighthearted.
Yes. Yep.
You know,
And it was a great opposite of Saturday.
yeah, it was very lighthearted. The group had a
To be
conversation.
honest, I wouldn't mind another one on Wednesday because Saturday's coming up.
Oh, got to get through with the rhymers. So,
I know. Yeah.
But the skeleton group had a conversation with a blind girl.
That was a really good touch too.
It was.
Because like she wouldn't know, what we look like. I never really described what I look like either, I noticed.
You're a skeleton.
I know, but like I could have like a
Yeah.
hole in a certain part of my body or something. But yeah,
Um,
it was really
the
cool because the blind person would not know, what we looked like. So
and the drunk dwarf that nobody believed that they were skeletons walking around. It was just a lot of fun,
I
y'all.
wouldn't mind doing. I don't even know what the game would be, but just role playing that tavern with that dwarf. Like I had so much fun with that.
It was, and it's good to get away from what everybody thinks you have to play is D&D. It's not. You don't have to play D&D. There are other games out there,
Yeah.
But let's see. How about a Did You Know? Speaking of
Sure.
D&D, segment Did You Know that it used to be taboo to play D&D, but now there's lots of famous people that play it, such as you got Matt Mercer, who's fairly famous voice actor.
Was he famous before Critical Role in the D&D thing though? Because I never heard of him.
I have no idea. I just know
Okay.
he's famous now.
Right. He is. A lot of those players were voice actors in anime where I knew about a lot of them.
Yeah. You have Vin Diesel who plays.
You have Pittsburgh's own, what is his name? Joe Manganiello, I think is how you pronounce it.
He's actually listed on this list that I was looking at.
He seems like such a nice human being. Like he goes to children's hospitals and stuff like that, and
yeah.
and he's into AEW, so there's double.
True. A guy that I know, because he played for the Dallas Cowboys, Travis Frederick, he plays. And there's a group on YouTube, if you can find it. I can't remember the name now, but it was a bunch of AEW wrestlers that were playing that. I know they had the Big Show out there one time.
Oh, and the Wizards of the Coast, when they have their D&D like streaming sessions or whatever, they have those. I forget what they're called, but every few months they'll have like with panels and stuff like that. They always put together a couple celebrity tables as well.
Right. So and that's why people think that's what all that you have to play is D&D. It's not, as we proved, this past week playing Adventure Skeletons, and
but you have to really be into the
Mothership.
game itself. I think like into gaming in general to look past what's popular.
Yeah, it is the most trendy game.
Mm-hmm.
It is the most accessible game because of the website, and now that the builder and the books and all that are accessible. So I do understand why. But I do get tired of playing it all at the same time.
Yeah, I do too. Now, I don't know if I would play, to be honest with you though, if I was playing a fantasy, I don't know if I'd play anything other than D&D because that's like fantasy to me, but I like every other genre of game. Like I've never played a fantasy game that's not D&D.
Dungeon World is a blast, and
I want to play that. I really want to play that.
Simpler. But let's we don't want to get too far,
I think we bored my cat because PJ fell back to sleep on the couch. Just so she's snoring now.
Oh, she's really gonna snore now. Take a seat and listen for Jesse's reading recommendations.
I'm gonna Will Smith you right in the balls.
No, you're not. Oh, you want to grab that? You hadn't even bought me supper yet. No.
So today, sit down at my library table, get yourself a warm beverage or a cold beverage. I don't know why I said beverage like that. That was weird. Today's recommendation, Richard, it's a big day.
Is it?
I'm recommending something that is not part of a series. I think this is my first standalone.
It's a new day. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
I like New Day.
I do too. Go ahead, tell
thanks.
us.
So, have you ever heard of the author Diana Wynne Jones?
Not sure. I don't think so.
She's a very prolific author of fantasy novels, 80s and 90s. I think she still writes today. You know what? She may have passed. Alexa, did Diana Wynne Jones pass away?
Diana Wynne Jones died on March 26, 2011 in Bristol.
She passed away.
UK.
But
Years old.
okay, thank you, Alexa. So one of her books was turned into a very famous animated movie. I've heard that the movie is different from the book, but they're both beloved, and the movie's beloved by people who love the book. So that's an unusual. You don't usually see that often.
Right.
And the book is called Howl's Moving Castle. It is about a young girl named Sophie who gets entangled with a wizard named Howl and life in his castle. I'm not going to spoil anymore, but it is such a charming, feel-good read. Like, it feels like a fantasy, like it's for children, but anybody can read it. And she learns lessons, and you learn about, like, she learns to be courageous and stuff like that. You learn a lot about different characters in the castle. A lot of times they say if you read Harry Potter to like go back into some of her works, but Howl's Moving Castle is a phenomenal book. Will give you that warm fuzzy. It's kind of like reading a fairy tale. Will give you that fairy tale feeling, I think. I read it on Kindle. I know there's audiobook versions out there. I don't know about the readers or anything. I don't know about the reader on Bard. I know it's on Bard though. And I definitely want to read more of her books. She does one where, like, I forget what it's called, but this guy is supposed to be the chosen hero or whatever, but he turns evil. Instead, she's done books that are like a guidebook to wizards, and it's like how to travel through. That's not the title of it, but it's like how to travel through a fantasy land and stuff like that. So, Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. It's a definite 5 stars for me. It's a short book, probably like 6 hours if you're reading it in audio. Richard, I would really like your take on it. If you have so much to read, I know, but I think you would enjoy it. It's just it's a very lighthearted, fun read.
Maybe when somebody finishes reading Harry Potter.
I'm on chapter 10, sir. So
Of which book?
Oh, I meant I am moving along on
Well, even a snail moves along.
what is it called?
Order of the Phoenix.
Yes, I'm on chapter 10.
Everybody, I
don't
bet you
know.
I could start reading the first one and still beat Jesse reading them all.
I'll tell you what part of the book I'm on, because I don't know if it's 10 or not. Harry just got back to Sirius's house after getting acquitted at the trial.
Yeah, I guarantee you I could read them all before you finish them. Anyway.
It is my current audiobook, though. Isn't that something? Isn't that worth something?
Not until you finish, sir.
Okay. Do I have to finish all of them, or am I going to
Yes.
get credit when I finish this one?
No, all of them.
Okay.
I mean, you ain't got to worry about spoiling it for anybody because everybody else has already read them.
There has to be one person that hasn't read them.
Exactly. I'm talking to them.
Has your mama read them?
Yes.
Son of a bitch. Oh my God, I'm sorry, Richard's mom. I didn't mean to swear.
She's gonna get you. But let me get to my reading recommendation.
No one cares. It's called Jesse's recommendations. No, I'm kidding. I'm always very interested in your recommendations.
I'm looking for another podcast partner, everybody. Somebody who is a mute.
What do you use? That'd be kind of funny. I know, obviously, wouldn't work past one episode, but if you had someone and you're like, well, what do you think there, Joe? And he says something, and no one hears him, and you're like, oh, okay.
You know what's funny is I actually could mute you, but I
Yeah.
don't. But everybody, if you're into lit RPGs, as I like them, check out Brightblade Underverse, book number 1 by Jez Cajiao. It is narrated on Audible by Wayne Mitchell. The link,
It's a cool Australian accent.
yes. There's a link to the Kindle version for $4.99, and if you have Kindle Unlimited, it is free. It is a really good book, although I will say that the Kindle version, when it gets to the tables where it reads the achievements and things like that, can seem to cause jaws to stick every once in a while. So I was able to get it through what's it called, Wordwise or Word Whisper Sync. There we go.
Yeah, that's basically where you pay less. If you have
Yeah,
the Kindle version, you'll pay less for the audio, or vice
yeah.
versa, I think.
I got it for like I think $6.95, $7.95. So and love the
$7.95.
audio.
Are you out of your mind? That was a commercial, I think.
Bless him, everybody. Just bless him. Well, I've had enough of this. I'm stepping away.
Each week, Jim Bob goes out to round up the most interesting animals, beasts, and monsters so that you can be better prepared. So get ready for Jim Bob's Crittering Time!
Doggies here, but how you doing, Jesse?
I'm sad.
What's that on your upper lip?
Nothing.
Oh,
What is
that's
it?
your face.
Funny. I'm sad, Jim Bob.
You looked in the mirror again?
No, because Richard said he was walking away from me. He's had enough of me.
I understand why. When's the last time you took a bath?
Whose side are you on here? I
Well,
thought you were my friend.
I'm on my side of the table because there's like a yellow fungus on you.
That's from Richard. That's not me. He went to Epsilon something 10 or something like that.
He wasn't paying attention again. Anyway, look at my little buddy right here. This here's what you call a bearded devil. Not that thing but in my pants. That's what they call that's another bearded devil, but that's different.
Jim Bob, I don't need to know about your bearded devil, my friend.
Well, I can tell you some stories about it. But anyway,
I don't need any.
they're a vicious little creature rated at a 3, and they have an armor of 13, and you can tell from looking at this little feisty little creature right here that he's got like an average health of 52.
Is he the toughest creature you brought us so far?
Yeah, he sure is. And look at him. You can see that he's trying to look through like some special kind of eye stuff, but he can see in darkness for like 120 feet.
Wow. Did you name him?
No, I call him Little Buddy. That's
Oh, there's your dog peeing on your leg.
he's not peeing on my leg. That's not my leg.
Whose leg is that? That's not mine.
That could be my bearded devil. But
Oh, he's
um,
gone now.
they're really hard to scare, and they can attack twice with their beard and with their glaive. And something really cool, you gotta watch out for his little beard, little tentacle thingy right there, because it can be poisonous.
You know what would be funny if you shaved his beard?
I can't do that. That's like shaving a dwarf's beard. You don't do it.
Why?
Well,
What happens if you do?
it's kind of like they lose their dwarfhood or something. Then they become like a halfling or a gnome, and you don't want to be a gnome because gnomes are just. But that's a different story. That you can't go into that about gnomes because I don't want to be called a species. But that's just like he's getting a little feisty. Look at him there. He's trying to chew on the mic. What's it called? Microphone.
Microphone. Yep.
Yeah, let me get him out of here before he starts tearing up stuff again.
All right, thanks, Jim. Hey, what is your most valuable creature that you have? Like your rarest creature?
Well, it's not really rare, but it is rather valuable. It's called a trouser snake. But I'll
Bye,
talk
Jim
at you
Bob.
later.
Goodbye, Jim Bob.
You like Jim Bob, do you?
He tried to show me his bearded snake in his trouser, or bearded devil in his trouser snake today.
Why would you want to see that?
I don't. That's what I said to him. I'm really annoyed now. You're mean to me. He was being mean.
Maybe it's you because you're the common denominator.
You said you're going to get a new podcast partner.
Yeah, because you always like say, Jess, is there anything? Are you ready? Yeah. So I start recording, and then you come in with, oh, look at the birds, like twiddle, twiddle, twiddle.
I said the birds were loud as shit. I was worried they were picking up on the microphones. I didn't want to disturb you.
See, now you're yelling at me, and you wonder why we get upset. But that's really all that we have for this week. Because talked about 2 different RPGs here. Be sure again to check out the Discord for other games or conversation. To meet other members of the community, and
that's what I'm doing, everybody. I've been a member of the community since the beginning, but I'm meeting everybody now.
And eventually he'll get up to 10 posts, everybody. Eventually.
You know what? With my dice rolls, I may be up to 10 now.
We don't count dice rolls.
Oh, okay.
And as always, everybody, remember to like, share, and
subscribe.
This episode is brought to you by the Knights of the Braille and is made possible through the support of viewers such as you. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to get all of the latest information and episodes. Thank you.